Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Lungleng Show. Tonight we'll be talking about corruption and to the corruption that's has been attached or that is known with the Jal Jeevan mission. And if we look at Jal Jeevan mission is such a very powerful mission in the form of giving subsidies, in the form of giving water supply to the people, especially in the rural households. So here I'm joined with Mr. R.K. Paul Chawang, and he's a social activist or social worker, in other words. What he did last time was he studied what has the Jal Jeevan mission done in his district, especially in his village. And he found out that there are more than 172. The report of Jal Jeevan Mission claimed that there are more than somewhere around 172 households been connected by water tap for every household. But his village house total households is actually somewhere around 40 households. So that is the gap and a skewed data presented by the government. He found that out as a social worker and he spoke about it and he spoke up on that. So I think this is a very important matter. This is a very important issue, and this is just a daylight robbery because for things that don't exist, it is represented as well done, but actually people are not getting what is reported as being done. So I would like to just give you a small background on what is the Jal Jeevan Mission. So Jal Jeevan Mission is a government of India flagship program which was launched on 15 August 2019 under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. So the main goal is to provide safe and adequate drinking water through individual household tap connections. So that was being targeted. I mean, it was targeting to all rural households and to connect every rural household a water tap for safe and adequate drinking water in India by 2024. Now we are in 2025, and all of us know how many households have been connected in rural area with household tap connections for drinking water and safe drinking water. And we all know the reality, but we don't have the actual data. But Bol Chawang has done a research on that, and he has found some of the very malicious data, very misleading information on the government website. And for that purpose, we have brought Mr. Paul Chawang to have a conversation on this. Thank you, Mr. Paul Chawang, for joining in this conversation. And I believe this is a very serious matter. And I thank you for agreeing to talk to us on this matter. And the more we talk about these things, the better it gets as a society. So thanks for joining in, and I look forward to learning a lot about the ground reality vis-a-vis what is being reported in the paper. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Longleng, for having me in your show. Definitely, this is a subject which is concerning and boring. Bothering me for past so many months. I think when we think of water, which is basic to every human being, especially my village, I come from a farmer's family, and I belong to Oklong Meridam. For years, we have seen the struggle when it comes to water, having access to water. All the more with this climate change and environment destruction, now we are facing more and more the scarcity of water. I think in the district like Senapati today, I never could believe that people they have to purchase water and drink water. But I think given the time, even in my rural villages and likewise in many other rural villages of the hills, they will come when the streams and sources will get dried and people have to purchase from town drinking water and then survive. This particular scam, or say they brought looting of the JGM scheme, is really astonishing. If I were, you know, as a social worker, I could not have picked this topic if it were not water. Water is so basic to every rural household, even to human beings of all ages. So this discrepancy, or say the scam, came to my notice when I visited home and stayed with the families there. But basically, these households in my villages are really poor. They are just struggling from hand to mouth. And water, although, as you have rightly said, that it was launched in 2019, henceforth they started implementing. I know I never took it seriously till when I realized that in the website, when I visited, there were a lot of false data and false reporting in Ejal Sakti. And I made research on this, and I went to the village and just checked out. But I found, except the few empty reservoirs which were constructed in the village, there were no other connectivities. But the Jal Jeevan mission very nicely says that Har Ghar Jal, every household has to be connected with functional tap with water. So
Right.
I did a cross checking of this data. I went to the ground, talked with my villagers as well as the neighboring villages, but nowhere, not a single household were being connected with tap water. So that
Okay.
made me,
But the
yeah,
but the
yeah,
government website says that say that it's all connected with household tap water.
right. So
So
in,
can you shed
yeah,
light on the data that is reported by government as well as the actual ground reality that you found in your village?
yeah. So thinking of the problem that is existing and the issue that I found on 18th of March, I filed an RTI. The
Okay.
first RTI, I sent a copy to the deputy commissioner and the other main copy to the executive engineer of PhD department. Waited for 30 days, no response. I did again file another RTI as a second appeal to the state public information officer, PhD department in FAL, the state one. And then I waited for another 30 days, no response. So the third application was filed to state information commissioner, who is the head of RTI. And then after having waited for 30 days, he sent an email of someone wherein I was called. So I was the complainant, and the PhD department executive engineer with his team came along. I also took my few of my witnesses from different villages, different major tribes of the district, because this issue was found to be all everywhere the same. So
Mm.
we had a hearing chaired by the state information commissioner. When we received the RTI information of 30 villages, we did point by point one. Everything, whatever I asked, they were trying to respond to the book information. So in that information, around 10 information were missing. They could not give, they could not provide the information. So there, the executive engineer clearly stated that in Senapati district, 4 were with 100% with functional water tap connection. 4 villages. Among these 4 villages, my village was included.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in the mind that only 10, 10 villages were with 100% connected with functional tap water. But the Ijal Sakti data shows a different. And then, in the month of August, Deputy Commissioner of Senapati, we came across where he has sent his block development officers to 10 villages where household, the water connection was completed 100%. Then I realized that when executive engineer informed me in Infal, when I was hearing with the state information commissioner of 4 villages 100% completed, now deputy commissioner is sending out a circular, sending out his block development officers to 10 villages where Ejal Sakti says that 10 villages were connected with 100%. This is another data which is being revealed. And in the month of January, Honorable Union Minister Mr. George Kurian, he came over to Senapati district for a review of different projects. So we got an reliable, authentic information that in the presentation given to him in the review by the PhD department, the data was totally a different data altogether. Wherein the in the slide of presentation, the department has presented under Jal Jeevan mission there were 32 villages, out of which 30 are completed. Under NDP, New Development Scheme for Water Supply in the district, there are 103, out of which 12 were completed. So from 4 villages completed through my RTI to 10 villages completed through the circular that was issued by the deputy commissioner, and to the presentation which was officially given in the presence of all stakeholders by PhD department to the Honorable Union Minister Mr. George Kurian, wherein under the Jal Jeevan mission, out of 32 villages targeted, 30 are completed. So I'm really blown up by this kind of data which are not at all matching. And then 100% or not, but on the ground the story is the same. That's the reason why we have come up with this. I have come up with this issue of raising this issue.
Okay. So thanks for shedding light on that. So how many times you said you filed RTI for multiple times, right? Or you waited
Yeah,
and you didn't get the information as expected within that timeline. So
right.
when you received a response, the data differences were incomparable and with the ground reality as well as the actual report that is given by the government. Now, when you go to the village, does the village have even a single tap of water for a
See,
household tap?
in the villages, they have constructed a cement of, a bucket of cement, a slab, and a tap and a iron pipe where there is no connection absolutely. There is no water source. They did just for photograph sake. And this reality is also found when we start circulating and uploading in social media. These facts are true across the state of Manipur, which means there has been a mastermind where this trend has been there.
Okay. Now, when you told about the actual report, what was the reaction of the villagers? Like, you know, because they know they are the actual people who are the beneficiaries, but they didn't get anything of such facility as household tap for drinking water and adequate and safe drinking water for every household. Since they don't get even a single household tap in the village, or maybe in some villages. I mean, what was the reaction when you talked to them about this misrepresentation of data?
See, after all this process, all this while, I did a lot of other work in the process. We sent journalists to take the fact finding from the ground. They did the reporting. They did fact finding. They had a lot of interaction with the villagers, not only in my village but in other villages like Lai village, where the former communities of Nagas are the inhabitants, and also other Mao inhabited areas. Because in Senapati district we have got 5 major tribes. So only looking at the ground reality of my village won't be adjusting. So we send them across different villages to see that what is the reality in those villages.
Mhm.
See, Longland, when you look at the villages, villagers are mostly totally ignorant, innocent. The question that I have is that a project like this Jal Jeevan mission implemented by PhD department, we could have had created much of awareness to every household, or say call up all the entire village community and explain about the importance of this project. They could have had taken into consideration the village authority, not only just few members, but the entire 7 to 8, whichever number they have, and then explain to them that this is a project which has come from them, and then this is the way that it will be implemented. But now, 2009, since the project started across district, now it's already 2025. Now, how do they rectify and redo the work? That's a big question.
Mm.
See, here we are not targeting any individually. We are not naming anyone. But the problem is a project which is so essential for the villagers. Till date, they are not aware of what were exact beneficiaries that they should get from this project. In the village, when I interact them, they believe that something is better than nothing. The culture of corruption is so high, they expect nothing less than getting something. And that is how their mental state is. I think when we look at this instant of one project, one scam, we are also looking at the bigger picture of who are engaged, who are responsible for this project implementation. Is it now their duty, the PhD department, or the people who are involved in this, to create enough of awareness to the people so that they're aware of how much the amount has been sanctioned? We know in a state like Manipur, Senapati, things are difficult. Implementing things 100%. We don't even expect that. But having implemented this good project with just some reservers and some, some Photoshop type of, tab, which is not connected with water, makes it very alarming and then very disturbed here.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. So, has there been any response from the government on why there is misrepresentation of the actual data? Did you get any response from the government, from authority, for instance, as directly from PEC Department of Senapati District? What was their
Yeah, and a
comment?
few, a few number of times, PG department executive engineer called me up and said that there has been discrepancies, and we are trying to rectify with us till October, and then we'll try to rework, and everything will be done. We are trying to call up all stakeholders meeting of people who are involved in this. Number of meetings have had. I also came I also came across this kind of circulars. But the thing is, all those meetings, what were the outcome? What are the action taken? What are the rectification steps that they have taken? They have never shared. In fact, today, my team members, we met deputy commissioner at her chamber, and we tried asking the, meetings that you have and what are the report that. But she said that, uh, you write formally and then look for it, and they will get. But we consider that they should share openly with us whenever we ask to have access to this kind of projects reports. No?
Okay, okay. And I think this kind of problem should be voiced out and spoken up through our member of parliament, um, in outer constituency as well. So do you plan to at least pass this information to him that, hey, there is a the government of India thinks that the mission has been achieved, the Jal Jeevan mission has been achieved, but in our actual Naga villages, hardly any household has a tap water, and all the photos that have been published are mostly photoshopped or maybe just used for one time for water flowing from the pipe, and it doesn't actually exist. So I think, don't you think this kind of message should be also conveyed to the member of parliament that we have as your representative currently?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm sure he must be aware also. Either it is outer Manipur or inner Manipur representatives, and the issue that are being flashed by us through social media are also everyone is following that. And as a step towards corruption, or say particularly with this JJM issue, we since we are not getting that kind of response to our satisfaction, we also have started a movement very recently under the name Youth Rise for Change. So we have a WhatsApp group and we have a Facebook page. Slowly, we are trying to create awareness through that, and many, you know, youth who have stepped out and come forward to join the movement. Basically, we are like express our willingness to work with the people. Uh, of course, there are so many departments and organizations working with very clear objectives. But at the same time, we have decided not to register this movement as an legal entity or under any society registration. We want to just keep up the momentum and see how the voiceless of the people can be also channelized through us. We stand on their behalf. JJM is the first thing that we have taken up. I think the light of truth will be unfold very slowly. Now it is catching up in other districts and other places. This is our concern, and definitely um, both the MPs of Manipur, even the Raja Sahib MP, everyone should, no matter which political party they belong. But when it comes to the basic amenities and basic needs of our people, I think that is where we have to stand for.
Absolutely. Now that you have found out all of that, and government is saying they will rectify the data, so when they rectify, their achievement will just come down to almost like 1 or 2%, because as we know, Jal Jeevan mission is to connect tap drinking water tap for every household, but that is not the case. In if you go around in any village in your district, you will hardly find any household connected with tap water. So normally there would be a huge tank, water tank, and everyone will come and draw from there, but that's not the case. The Jal Jeevan mission is to bring connection, water connection to every household. So when that does not happen, what are our civil societies thinking about it, or are they complicit to this level of corruption and scam committed by the government? So that is a very rightful question that I think we all need to ask. And I also want to know, what is your further steps as a movement? What is your further step? You have known the data, you have seen the data, and you have seen that the evidence is very clear that there has been corruption and nothing has been done on the ground. Now, where do the bugs stop? Whose fault is it? And who should be prosecuted for that? So I'm sure you must be thinking about for the future course of action.
So in this, the rural poor are being deprived, and never in their life they will get back because it is a one time. And the project with huge amount, which has been, misused. I should very clearly state this, because the government of India is not going to give you for the second time since you had done some mistakes. Something, if a work is done and which needs some repair, which needs some rectification, is easier. But nothing has been done on ground, and for many years it has gone by. So we are in the process of, already under the process of filing an PIL, and the representation has been already sent. See, in the start, I have said everyone may be doing their own work with good intention, but the system that is hovering above us has been so corrupt for so many years. People who ever come and go, they consider that this is the new normal, that they have to live with it. That's the reason this has affected even the grassroots. Grassroots people, they think that not given their due rights in terms of project is something normal, because we have never experienced such a thing called as government scheme, which has really given us a better life, which has improved their standard of living, which has improved their children's life in terms of, in any way. So in this, I found that people who are the in charge of implementing this project, who were involved in this project, definitely the court of law should decide what is to be done. This is a matter of court who will decide. So we'll do our part. Our movement, our people, youth will do our part of making people aware. Today, this has happened because our villagers were not aware of that water is the basic fundamental rights that they need to have, which government of India has not given for a favor or for a gift, but it's just born out of the public tax money that they received. So these are lack of
Yeah.
awareness. But as a leader, as educated people, as you know, uh, who is well known, it's their duty. Either be it a deputy commissioner, be it a politician, be it a public leader, contractor, whoever it may be. It is our moral responsibility to also educate rural villages. If we keep on sidelining the ignorance in this way, never at given point of time our rural villages will improve their standard of living. They will be in that, rag way of life, depending from hand to mouth, worrying about what they should think for tomorrow, and then that's the beginning and end of their life. And never at given point of time they will never progress.
Mhm. Now I want to ask this question again. When you went around in the village, did you find any household, just even one also, that has water tap being installed by the government of Manipur, by the government? Just one household.
Not a single, as I said, there's a common tank which has been constructed from
Mm,
there, as much as my village is concerned, because I can speak what I have seen in reality in my villages. Because I'm responsible for what I'm stating. So in the village, there's a common tank which has been constructed. There is an outlet of small pipes, and all the villagers bought at their own expense the rubber pipe, and they connected. So what they do, no tap. What they do, they go turn by turn. If your house is already filled, your tank is already filled, whichever tank they have in their home with a plastic barrel, whatever they have, whatever pot they have, they communicate to the neighbor that my water container has been filled. Now you can go and disconnect and then connect your pipe. So whole night they keep on traveling from the tank to the own house. So this is how they have been sharing. And from the main tanky to every household, the cost and the expense of the pipe has been purchased by them. Is nothing is given by the government.
mm, mm, mm,
And then still, yeah. I just want to mention in this talk of ours that in one of my journalist investigation fact finding, we captured the old lady above 80 years old happened to be there in the village when the journalist went. So we thought of picking her stories because she's 80 plus. And then we had interviewed the journalist interviewed her because we found that she has a one water barrier and then one pipe connected to that particular thing. And the story was highlighted. Very strangely, some people are upset, and then they try to brainwash her and say, why did you tell to the media people that you don't have water? You have water. And just yesterday, I went to the village and came back, and she was also not happy with me. The old lady, she doesn't go to field. She just lives in the village, stays in the village. All. And then I asked who gave the pipe that connects from tank into your burial, and he said my son bought for me. That's it. That's it. It's not government of India which has given, or government of Manipur which has given her the pipe. At this old age, she has to struggle filling her small burial to wash, to use for consumption, to use for drinking. This is the story that is there on ground.
mm, mm. That's very tragic. It's so sad that things are happening like this in front of our eyes, and no one is raising voice. And whoever wants to raise voice are being threatened, like the old lady in the village. So I think there is a there are people who are working un, underhand in this. Like they're complicit, they're part of it, and they serve as the mouthpiece for the government to say that yes, we have water in the village and everyone is enjoying water. But I think we should educate people more on what are the people, what is being given in the Jal Jeevan mission for every household. So that is a drinking water tap for every household. But it should not just end by just constructing a water tank, common water tank for the whole village. It should be connected with water tap for every household. I think that has to
That
be stressed, so that let the people also know, and let them also vote wisely in the next election, for instance.
definite. I think more and more. I think I definitely believe in the power of youth, and even today, changes will come about if youth are on the correct track. They are well mentored and counseled, and they know how to go about. The thing is now, again, I'm stressing again, this Jal Jeevan is a case, one issue. But the entire thing that we need to crack the chain of thing is that the corruption.
Mm,
Corruption has gone to that level that no general public today believes in the system of
mm,
administration or politician or whichever may be. But we have become so used to it, has become part of our entire system of living day to day. So I think this system has to be cracked. Then only I think good officers, they can really perform. Good politicians, they can really perform their duties with honesty, and then definitely the changes will come about. And I also believe that the progress of handful of you is doesn't really reflect the progress of the entire society. So therefore,
mm,
we have to take everyone along. You may be richer, I may be poorer, but I also need to improve my standard of living in terms of having a better quality education for my kids, having a better health, having a better road, having a better health system. So this is how everyone can go along. When we have dream of high ideal, unimaginable dreams, if we are still struggling with the basic amenities and struggling for, and then sleeping with the worriness of what comes tomorrow, what I should get for tomorrow, I think we're not done with that.
mm. So last question is, did you come across the information on the budget that was allocated for the whole state of Manipur for this Jal Jeevan mission? Did you come across that data?
So it's all backup data. So I think it's what I've found online because now Google research also gives you a lot of information until unless you have got a very authentic documentation from the government, which is difficult to also get it out. It was mentioned as 3,000 crore something on that. Yeah, since 2019.
Right,
The launch was done on 15 August 2019. Since then, yeah.
right, right.
Mm.
So out of 3,000 crores, for instance, it's just in the state of Manipur, not even a single, we don't see a single household from the villages that you have visited connected with the pipe. So let's assume that, okay, fine, till the construction of the water tank for common water tank or reservoir for the whole village, that job is done. But where will the money go for all the budget for the materials of buying pipes, buying the taps, and connecting to all households? That will be another hundreds and hundreds of crores again. But that was
Right.
not done. That was not implemented.
Yeah. So yeah,
So yes. So can you sufficiently say that at least water reservoir has been constructed in every village wherever you had visited?
yeah. So most of the work of fact finding will done by the journalists. We thought that the fact findings are more accurate. They are being professional in this,
Mm-hmm.
work professionally. So that's the reason why how they have done. But in Lai, where we have sent the journalists, they found that yeah, there were water reservoirs with no outlet or no inlet, and the tanky was totally dried. So with this, I think for the sake of work they have done, but not for the purpose of providing facilities with that particular work. No? So in my even in my village, I can say that there are two reservoirs. Out of the main one, there are two reservoirs. One within the village, another one little outskirt of the village. Both of the tanks are not used. There is no connectivity. There is no water. Today, within the village, the reservoir has become almost a dustbin.
Mm-hmm. Right. They use that as a garbage bin in the village or wherever
Yeah,
it is, right? No. So I think it will be also very important to know how many, I mean, how much fund was allocated for just your district alone as well. I think that will also filter down a little bit, and you will have a clarity on how much you have for your district and how many water pipes or how many kinds of works have been done for the village, for the rural households in Senapati district, just to start from your own district or from your village to your to the block and to subdivision. And I think it'll be good to know how much amount was allocated for just one district and how much work has been done, just to compare and contrast. That also will be very enlightening in that sense.
so if PhD department of Senapati were to provide me with the information that I asked for, they have given me information, but the financial aspect of social audit, financial audit were not given. So this becomes unclear. As far as my village is concerned, they have sanctioned 1 crore 24 lakhs 14,000 to be exact. So this is the
Mm.
amount that they have sanctioned. So
For your
out of the
village.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
So
out
it's
of one crore something rupees, the amount of work that is constructed in your village, do you think it will be worth the amount that the amount of work that has been done in your village? Like, what's your rough estimation?
no, I don't think that that is the amount that they could have utilized for that. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
because
right,
as per the JJM, from the tanki till household, pipe should have been connected. What happened to
correct,
those pipe? Whereas now today the families are using their own pipes or rubber pipes purchased from the shops.
correct.
Yeah,
I think this is quite sad and very unfortunate. And also, what it makes it more unfortunate is because people don't even know that they deserve to get that, and that was their right, and that
yeah.
has been deprived by whoever is responsible for that, from the government or whoever is responsible for that. I think people have the right to get angry on this because they were given by the government more than 3 lakhs crore was sanctioned. I mean, was earmarked for this Jal Jeevan mission all over India, and just in your village alone, if it is more than 1 crore, then at least there should be some structure that says that at least some 1 crore rupees have been spent on this connect, what the water facilities. And as long as that is there, it should be fine. Otherwise, if it's not there, people should start questioning and be angry, be angry, of course, not to go violent, but at least to question the government and to question the department, concerned department, and people who are part of it, so that I think they will get what they should get. Otherwise, like you say, the corruption has been just deeply embedded with our lifestyle, that it has become a new normal, and no one is questioning this anymore.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So what's your last thought?
Yeah. So what I believe is that no matter uh, the age or the group or the organization, I think each time that the youth of our society, especially in my district where we have five major tribes, the youth have to step up. I think
Mm,
they are the future. They have to step up and start raising their voices to bring about change in the society. I think the way it is being functioning, the way it has been controlled is not the way that we have future, no
mm,
future in our district or for our people. So we have to take everyone along, be it poor or rich, whatever government good scheme that comes, even if you don't really envisage to implement 100%, at least 50 to 60% has to be implemented. We all know the complication of how things are working in our culture, in our system. Having
right.
said that, I think some sort of ground reality benefit has to reach the bottom. Otherwise, you call it PDS, free rice distribution, or you call it M generica, everything. We need to really revisit and see the transparency in that. And today, the youth movement that I have begun, we are pulling the crowd and we are crying out, standing on behalf of the people. Our indigenous community, our Naga indigenous community, did we need to reclaim back our rights.
Mm,
Every household in the rural villages, no matter how poor they are, they need to have access to the facility that had been given by the government of India. Government of
mm,
India, time and again, have launched 100 plus schemes meant for youth, meant for children, meant for women, meant for farmers. But where is this? Where are these funds that they are receiving? Farmers are depending just on knife and spade till today, 21st century.
mm,
We
mm,
really, it touches our heart. They go to the field, either it is a cabbage field or it is a potato field. But where are the extra facilities? Way of living and improvement of life should happen every year. Every household is improving at least a little way, a small way, gradually. But this is not happening. I think it's time to wake up. We will be driving the youth force, getting the support of the entire public from the rural to the urban. We will also be getting the support from different civil society organizations. And I think in the district, the various department, government department, actually they are meant for and established with the purpose of helping the rural poor. Your agriculture department is not just remaining in district, established and drawing salaries, but at least they need to walk out from the office and go to the rural. Horticulture, veterinary, every department that you can say of, I think is spent for the development of the society. I think more transparency, more accountability in all these projects can better our lives. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this corruption and scam to light. I think this is the first step to prevent, to control corruption, to prevent corruption. And sensitization is very important, so that every household, every voter can understand what is being given to them and what is being deprived, what kind of privileges deprived of them. And they should not be, they don't deserve this. They deserve the best. And I think it is also rightful to question the MLAs, concerned MLAs, that is there, who are representing the people of Senapati district, for instance. And also, it's high time to start questioning the member of parliament, also to raise his voice on our behalf. People are not getting what they need to get, what they deserve to get. So this is a broad daylight robbery, and I think this should not be tolerated. And whoever is against this kind of initiative does not deserve to be part of a civil society, a very civilized society. And we all want governance, we all want good governance, we all want transparency. And I'm sure you are risking a lot of things, a lot of good things when you started working on this. And I believe and I believe and hope that you get enough public support to give you hope and to give you support in the good work that you're doing for the society. So I hope people will realize and come forward and give their moral support and every support that they can to you and to your team. So thanks for taking this initiative. We look forward to getting things more transparent in the future.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Paul Chawang. We'll talk again in the future. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you, Lungleng. Thank you, Lungleng, for having me in your show. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah. Sure.